Okay, another amazing product review coming at you live, recorded. Akaso, I should start over, but I'm not going to. Akaso V50X. Akaso V50X. This is the one and only action cam. Little tiny thing, little tiny guy, very small, very small. I could drop it almost anyway. It's an action cam, and if you know GoPro, you know what action cams are. And you probably already do. Why am I telling you this? But let's talk about the Akaso, because I got it and I want to share. First up, a little bit about pricing. I paid $99 for it, but you have to buy other things. Well, you didn't have to, but I bought the mic. The mic was $10. Not too bad, not a great mic, but it is an external mic. And finally, a micro SD card, because you can't just use a flimsy one if you're recording 4K video. I got a nice one, which meant like 20 bucks for maybe 128 gig, which should suffice for now. Okay, my current thing is to go ahead and give my overall thoughts at the beginning. In exchange, people have to subscribe. So if you haven't subscribed, you can't go any further. Okay, you subscribed, thank you very much. I know you didn't, but maybe, just maybe, I'm gonna assume you had a heart of gold and you subscribed, because it helps so much. Always be begging for subscribers. I think that's the new motto on YouTube. So what can I say? I'd say it's very good picture quality, very good stabilization, especially in the middle of the day. It's pretty sharp, it looks nice, it's pretty smooth. Again, nothing about this camera is gonna be as good as GoPro, of course, especially the GoPro 8, but also the cost isn't gonna be as high either. And if you think about it, you're talking about 1/4 the cost. I think the GoPro is like $300, and that's just for the camera alone, and if you want the waterproof case, if you want all the accessories, an extra $100 and some tax. So yeah, for me it was just like experimenting. Let's try this out and see if I ever use it. If it's just gonna sit in the garage all day, then what's the point of spending $400 when I can spend $100? And you do get a lot of little goodies and features for that $100. So it's not just the camera. They just, to be competitive, they throw in everything you could possibly want in an action cam. One important thing to note, the battery life is not good. I'd said 180 minutes, I think, on the thing, and it's like, no, it's nowhere even close. And I think they made both batteries, because it comes with two, but they're tiny. 180 minutes, nah, I think with one of them I got not even 30 minutes. So this whole 100, maybe that's at a low setting or something, or just recording audio. I don't know how you get 180 minutes, but it wasn't anywhere even close. Again, GoPro might be the same limitations. They are very small batteries, and that's fine by me, but this whole claim of like 3 hours, you're not getting 3 hours of these batteries. I don't have the exact specs, and I could maybe do another video of that, but it wasn't, I did a ride for like 20 minutes and stuff like that, and I think that was the batteries getting low at that point. So yeah, maybe 30 minutes tops. Again, more research. I'll put some stuff, some notes if that changes. Okay, well, I summed it up. I mean, that's it. That's the action cam, Akaso V50X, and I think it's a great value for the money. I haven't compared any other ones. I don't know. I mean, I haven't compared even GoPro, but I'm just saying, for me, it did the trick. It had the features I wanted. So if you're looking for one, I can recommend this one. Are there any better? Maybe. I don't know. I haven't researched, but I'd say this one's a good quality one for the money. All right, since the main part's done, I can do my story, and nobody can accuse me of rambling on and on, because I already solved the problem at the very beginning. So the rest is just for fun. It's for me. Do it for me. Listen for me. Now, for my history, I researched this thing about, well, not this particular one, but I researched this about a year ago, I think, and I wanted an action cam, maybe 2 years ago. I wanted one back then. I knew GoPro was overpriced. I knew I couldn't go that path. Actually, I think I considered it first, but then realized it's just way overpriced. There's so many knockoffs from China, and that was the problem. There's just too many. But at the time, they all kind of were missing something that I thought I wanted, that I realized, well, that one has it, but this one doesn't, but this one has that, and that one doesn't. So I actually never bought anything just because there were too many choices. I just eventually got tired of the idea and moved on to something else, a new hobby. One super important thing I think that I've learned that I would share is just, you can't trust the Amazon reviews anymore. Those, I think in general, are becoming pretty useless. I've even bought stuff where they sent little cards saying, we'll reimburse your money if you give us a 5-star review. So it's like, if they're sending it to me, they're sending it to everybody. So a lot of these reviews, especially the products from China, they just have fake reviews. They have way too many. And they'll say verified buyer, because they actually are. It's just they've been bought. So they've been purchased buyers. So don't listen to the Amazon reviews. You have to go to the YouTube reviews and stuff like that. So you definitely don't trust Amazon anymore, which is too bad. But at this point, I've kind of learned that even if they have lots and lots of them, because I've seen the ones that sent me the bribe cards, and I was like, they're way up there with likes or 5-star reviews. I realized they've been bought. It's not like they've, and another thing is they hire people, of course, just to write them, and usually those can be kind of discerned. But anyway, I can go on and on about that, but yeah, fake reviews. Got to go to YouTube and look for real people doing reviews, like me. Trust my reviews. I haven't been bought. So the things I like about it, well, for starters, the touchscreen is pretty cool. It's easy to use. It's got a nice, smooth, glassy finish. I don't know if it is glass, but whatever it is, it's smooth. It's easy to use. It scrolls really, very responsive, and it's just nice having a touchscreen, I really think. So if you got a lot of fiddling around to do and hitting the things, the buttons, manual buttons can get tiring after a while. So touchscreen, they did a great job there. Other thing are lots and lots of goodies. In this thing you get a ton. It just comes like stock full of, stock full. It comes with a lot of just goodies in the package. And I'm talking about clamps to hold it on. They hold the camera on, little articulating arms that kind of connect with other arms to kind of go to make it go the way you need it to go. The bottom mounting clips, which actually have a sticky tape on the bottom, so if you want to permanently mount it to something, that's great. But for me, it's like, I don't know, I don't want to like commit to one thing for too long. Waterproof casing, that's very nice. The waterproof casing, I don't know when I'll ever use that, but it's just kind of nice to have. I go somewhere where it's actually like pouring down rain. That's kind of cool if you're biking in the pouring down rain, so maybe I'll keep that in mind. I don't really get underwater very often. I'm not in Hawaii, I mean, who is right now? So the underwater case is just kind of cool. They just throw it in, and I hope it works. It's going to be a hard thing to test out for now, because some things I don't mind risking, like I took the waterproof earbuds in the shower, and actually they stopped working after a while, so that didn't turn out, but I returned them. This I want to keep. Got lots of straps too. You can like connect things, a little Velcro on them, or the clips. That nice. It's just the one thing about it is you have to use one of the straps for the watch, and it doesn't work very well. So wearing the watch doesn't come with a band. I mean, you kind of can use one of the straps. It's kind of versatile, universal, but I don't know if I really want to. I'd rather just have a nice watch band. And the watch is pretty cool. It's like the same that they all tend to sell the same watch. So I think some of the stuff in there, it's kind of like purchased from the same big manufacturer in China, and the different ones that sell their different brands, they just kind of buy them. All of these things are just basically GoPro knockoffs, which kind of sucks that GoPro did all the research and development, and other companies just kind of like steal their patents, but and that's such is life. Now, I think I mentioned the box is pretty nice. I mean, it's kind of useless. I don't do unboxing right now just because what's the purpose of watching someone take things out of a box? I mean, they're kind of fun to do, and I don't know if I even enjoy watching them anymore. It's just like you took something out of a box, just get to the point. So that is kind of a time waster, but it does come in a decent box. If I saw it in the store, maybe I'd be interested, but I mean, you can't really tell anything from a nice cover these days, and I'm not really in a store. Everything I buy is pretty much online, so it's kind of almost pointless to have these nice boxes, but I mean, it could have come in like a brown box with white lettering on it. Like, I don't care. That's fine. A little bit of extra garbage inside, plastic. It has to protect the pieces, I suppose. And they're all kind of mashed together, but that's fine. Everything's in working order. You do get 2 batteries. Again, they're very tiny, but they work. A little tiny charger for it. The charger feels pretty flimsy, but that's fine. I was thinking you need 2 cables, but I guess you need just one to go to the charger, and that's it, really. I think it has Wi-Fi, except the idea of ever trying to download anything from this memory to the computer wirelessly, that's absurd. You just basically got to pop the card out, micro SD, and put it in your computer, because 4K video are huge. Yeah, okay, yeah, overall you get a lot of nice stuff with it, and it works fine, and it's good. It's a pretty good quality. It feels nice. I mean, the weight is pretty light, and they're so compact. I just remember the olden days when things were huge to record. You wouldn't even have, no matter what size you got, you wouldn't have this kind of video. But to have like amazing video, 4K at that size, I mean, the cameras can do it too. So it doesn't shock me too much that this can do so much, because a smartphone is pretty much doing almost, maybe they are doing 4K on a smartphone too, but this is good. And having a wide lens, you really need that wide lens to kind of like make sure you're not missing anything. Oh, I didn't mention the bicycle light. Okay, so I mounted it on a bike helmet. It does a pretty good job. One thing, this isn't about mounting bike helmets, but one thing is to make sure you account for, I mean, you'll figure this out after your first video, is that you have to kind of mount it a little bit up. So if you mount it straight, your head tends to tilt down a little bit when you ride, and yeah, you look at your video and thinking, oh, I got the ground. So if you kind of want straight ahead, you compensate for that. There is a little bit of a problem with this device for that, so I'll get to that. So I mentioned all the likes, and there are a lot. The no likes aren't deal breakers by any means, just something to keep in mind should you want to buy it. Just to kind of, they're nitpicky, and you know, if the manufacturers saw the video and just think, how can we improve, James? Well, here you go. Here's how to improve. This things I'd like to see addressed if you, for future brands, because it sounds like they do listen and they kind of have been putting everything, really the high demand features in these action cams. I can't even speak. I think my biggest gripe, I even moved it to the top, was that you have to, the little door, the battery compartment door, you have to take off the action cam from the mounted device to get that door open. And it's so close, it's like, it could have been designed differently. Which is hugely annoying, because if you're switching the battery like during an event or something, you've already got, like in the bicycle helmet, I've already got it mounted at the right angle, everything is fine, I don't want to take it off and mess with it, it's tilted the right way, it's in perfect place. So to have to take it off to replace the battery means I have to like calibrate it, adjust it again, and that's just a huge pain. So yeah, fix that. That's kind of a ridiculous thing. It's like, you were so close, why did you like drop the ball at the like 5-yard line? Very small. It does have really kind of silly sounds when you turn it on and off. It's like, I don't know, cartoony almost. I mean, and you can turn these sounds off, but it's still, by default, it comes with these like goofy sounds, like, lose the goofy sounds. Can't set US time, you can only set military time, so it's fine by me, but I think for a lot of people, it's like, I just want like the time I'm accustomed to in America, but you're gonna have to learn military time, sorry. Small thing, it did come with the battery. One battery kind of partially full, the other battery empty. So it'd be kind of cool if the batteries came charged, because some devices do that. But I realize, I mean, depending on when it was manufactured and made in China, by the time it gets here, battery's gonna be dead. So just one thing, but it would be nice, but I guess maybe it's not even possible. It does only have an online manual, not a big thing. In fact, probably best to say paper. In fact, if they made the manual, it'd be too small to even read these days. So I guess it is a good thing. So, and it's a PDF, it's online, get to it very easily. It's pretty well done. As usual, there are lots of typos and errors. I'm not actually too many. Overall, I guess it's pretty good, but it's just, you can tell at one point it's kind of made in China, and they just didn't have anyone, didn't hire one person to go out and like proofread the native English speaker to go and proofread it. It's like, guys, it's like, you came so close. Why do all that work and not finish it? And that's just the English. I mean, there's like 5 other languages. I don't know about the mistakes in that. There's probably a lot of French and German mistakes too. Funny, the only reason I checked out the online manual, because I'm not a manual person, I'll figure this isn't rocket science, I can figure this out. But there's a case, it comes with a little plastic case, it's a back door, sort of the back side of the waterproofing case. And it's got like holes, I didn't realize at first, I thought it was a spare. Like, who gives you a spare for like the back door? But it has 2 little slots, so it lets in air, or I guess water too. So you wouldn't actually use this one for underwater, but then why have the thing at all? Which, yeah, to me, and it doesn't say in instructions, it just doesn't make sense. I'm sure I could look it up, but it's like, there's this like case that doesn't do anything. It has like these, so you can't use it underwater, and if you're not in a inclement weather situation, why even have the waterproof case on? Unless you're just in like the rain, but then why not have the full waterproof case on? It just didn't make sense to me. So if you know the answers, leave it in the comments below. Small thing, but the stabilizer, image stabilizer, is off by default. And that's something you kind of want on. You learn how after your first ride and you watch the video, but that's kind of something. Just default it on, don't default it off. I only knew because I watched a review and they mentioned that, and I thought, okay, so I knew to turn it on before the first ride, but turn it on by default. What's the big idea? This is kind of a bigger one. It would really help for future versions so they figure this out. And I think they're limited to what the watches do, because I don't think Akaso, I have to look at the name, I don't think Akaso makes the remote. I think they just buy it somewhere else and just kind of use it the way it's been made. But these remotes, they work. They can allow you to take a picture by pushing a button. They can allow you to start and stop recording. Now, if you push the button, a red light like blinks as you push the button. Whether that does anything, I don't know. It just tells you, I guess, the battery is working in the remote, but it doesn't actually tell you that camera started, or tell you that camera stopped, or tell you you're actively recording. So it would be so cool if the remote had some sort of like ongoing communication with it, or at least feedback to say, okay, the camera has started, you are actually recording right now. And it'd be great if you just look down and realize a blinking light, you actually are recording. Because again, you get it on your head, a bicycle helmet on your head or a snowboarding helmet, you'd have to take the whole thing off and kind of check each time. So maybe you hit the button an extra time, and when you think you're recording, you're not. When you think you're not, you see what I mean? It's like, come on guys, this is like, that should be actually fixed. That would be something great to have. And maybe one person will step up and do it, and all the others will suddenly copy. Because they don't want to be that one company that doesn't have that feature. That's really cool. It's so easy just to copy everybody else. Stealing, I guess, is the word we're looking for. Even a sound effect on the device itself when it starts recording, that would be kind of cool. Just like, I don't have to look at the tiny little screen, because like if you wear glasses and you're out doing action cam stuff, you're probably not wearing your glasses, so using that screen's even tougher. I kind of have to carry a disposable pair or a cheap pair of glasses in my pocket sometimes when I will check to make sure all the settings are right. So sound effects can be used effectively if they're done right. Small thing to keep aware of, the microphone. Now I got the external mic because the action cam body mic is awful, and most of them are, and you figure most of them are going to be in positions where, I mean, on top of your head or whatever, or out on a stick, and it's like they can only do so much. So it makes sense that these little tiny action cams can't do a great job recording alone. So that's what one feature I wanted for sure, was an external mic. I bought the one that comes with it. It's kind of flimsy. I can't even get it off the thing right now. But you actually have to go into the camera and say, you know, you're using an external mic. So, okay, fine. And then if you wanted to not use it, you have to flip it back. Well, what if you have it like you're using it and it's not plugged in? Well, you get no sound, and I guess vice versa. So the problem is, well, what if the mic comes out, like which happened to me? I was bicycling and I was adjusting it, and then the mic kind of came out and I didn't realize, so I didn't plug it back in. No sound the rest of the time. So it would have been cool if it went back to the body mic, so I at least had something to show for it, but no, nothing. Absolutely, just silence the entire way. So that was kind of like, figure that one out, guys. Figure that one out. And since the lens does stick out a little bit, it's very easy to get it dirty or like just smudged. My first ride, testing it around a few miles, I got back, I looked at the footage and I thought, that's weird. It's like the sky is all kind of hazy, or had that glowy effect, and I realized, oh yeah, it's probably just the dirty lens. And I cleaned it and it was fine afterwards. But I was actually kind of worried that it's like something is totally wrong with this unit and I have to send it back. But it is kind of exposed, so you're gonna have to deal with that. Just clean before every ride, I guess. And as I mentioned before, the battery life is it's poor, but I don't know if there are any aftermarket batteries or any different things that could be done to make it better. It's just poor. Maybe even getting a few extra batteries would be kind of good. I mean, it seemed like I had to change it after 20 minutes, 30 minutes, so it's not ideal, but I mean, what kind of action are you gonna be doing for 30 minutes? If it's a long car drive, then it's probably not, you probably don't want to be using an action cam. Small observation, the clips tend to be about 8 minutes and 31 seconds long, and then it just kind of stops and starts a new clip. I think it's just probably a file size limitation. It's funny that we're still on all these limitations of like 20, 30, how many years ago? We should be able to do a lot better than that now. But then, again, it is 8K. These are huge files, but still 831 and it stops. That is a lot, but just, could it be better? I think it could. Okay, that's it. That's all I have to say. Remember, I did the whole recommendation at the very beginning. Took a lot of notes on this thing. I might do another one as I go, but the video quality I thought is pretty good. I mean, just riding down the streets or down the road. The stabilization's a must. Even if it's not as good as GoPro, it's better than nothing. So I kind of like that. I'm having fun with it. I don't know how often I'll use it, but mainly for biking. I don't know about running. I mean, I could, but I don't know. Biking for now, and then snowboarding someday. Someday.